Hi, it's Liz from West Star Tarot, and today I am here to talk about the decks that I have chosen to bring out to work with over the next season, which is autumn. So these are decks for autumn. And coincidentally, today is the autumnal equinox, so I'm actually being somewhat timely with this, which isn't usually my MO, but today it is. So I have 10 decks for autumn. Um, you know, I think about decks for seasons. I do use decks seasonally, not 100%, but the seasons often do influence the decks that am directed to or feel like working with. And I think when I show you these decks, you'll see how they do have an autumnal feel to them. Most of them, or many of them, it's the color palette. Some of them it's the color palette and the topic, or the topic alone. The two I'm going to start off with are oracle decks, and I don't like the artwork really in either one of these. These are more topic driven in terms of picking them out for autumn. But the rest of them I feel like are sort of the artwork or the feeling that I'm getting from the colors in the on the cards make me feel like these are autumnal decks. I will be using decks other than these over the next 3 months. These will not be the only decks I'm using, but I was thinking about these decks. A couple of them are somewhat new to me, and I've been kind of waiting for autumn to roll around so that I can pull them out. Others I've had for a while. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I wanted to start off with the two, these are two that are pretty new to me. One I got in August and one I got in April. So let me start with the one I got first. This is a deck that I have talked about before. I think I actually did a whole video on it. And this is Oracle of the Hekatean Path, and it is by Ken Payne and Chris Butler. And I got this deck because I have been working, interacting. I have asked to work with Hecate, invited her in and asked her to take me in, whatever. I have a beautiful Hecate candle on my altar. But I really feel, I mean, this is kind of silly to say that Hecate is an autumnal or dark time of year goddess. I mean, the deities are year-round, but I feel more drawn to Hecate this time of year. Like, I feel like this is her time of year to shine. I definitely associate Hecate with Samhain. So anyway, like I said, I'm not super crazy about the artwork in this deck. It's the topic that draws me in. So here's the guidebook. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this. This is how to use this deck. The Oracle of the Hekatean Path is designed to be used as both a mirror, reflecting inner secrets and potential, as well as a map with signposts, which is very Hecatean, right? Which helps us navigate the paths to Hecate that we find ourselves on. Each image is deeply associated with Hecate and her mysteries, sometimes subtle and soothing, and other times primal and raw. There are different types of cards. There are cards for Hecate herself. There are cards for different deities from the Greek pantheon. And then there are cards that are like the mysteries and, things that we associate with Hecate. So let me just show you some of these cards. This is, I think, Lo Scarabeo. little shiny. But I feel like, of course, as I said, Hecate herself to me is a goddess that I am drawn to working with during this time of year. But I feel like this, there's our hound. I feel like the color palette, in addition, is very much for this darker time of year. And I believe that I will continue to work with this deck into the winter months as well. So autumn and winter. But this is a deck, as I said, I got in April. I worked with a little bit in April. It was some powerful draws that I had. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to put this deck aside until, you know, we get into the darker time of the year. So we are now entering that time of year. And so I am pulling this deck out to work with. So that is the Hekatean Oracle. Up next is a deck I just got last month. I haven't even had it. Well, no, I guess I have had it a month. And it's this one. Black Moon Lilith Cosmic Alchemy Oracle. And this is by Adama Sase and artwork by Carlos Fama. And I'm sorry, Carlos, nothing against you, but this just isn't my art style. So I don't even know what you call this kind of artwork. Collage, photo manipulation, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is not my cup of tea. This deck I was drawn to because of Lilith, but also it has an alchemical component to it. And I have read a couple books on alchemy. I'm really kind of fascinated by that topic. And when I saw this had the alchemical processes, a card for each one, I was really intrigued. So there are different, so we have the Black Moon Lilith cards. So those are Black Moon Lilith in all the astrological signs. Then we have the Dark Divine Archetype cards. So there's different deities. We have the astrological planet cards, and then we have the alchemy cards. So I've pulled out here a mix of, I'm going to do this way. So this is fermentation, which of course is an alchemical process. Here we see Mary Magdalene, a deity. Black Moon Lilith in Libra. Exaltation, which is an alchemical process. Ashira. Coagulation, another alchemical process. Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius. Dissolution, which is another alchemical process. The Black Madonna. Projection. Adama, another deity. The nodes of the moon, so now we're getting into the planet section. Putrefaction, alchemical process. Lilith. Conjunction, another alchemical process. Saturn. These cards are really shiny. Calcination. And separation. So I just pulled out, you know, kind of semi-randomly cards that represented the different sections. And I have done a couple of pulls with this deck already. Again, when I first got it, I thought I did like the old deck interview. It was really powerful. And I've done a couple other draws with it, but I decided that I would, you know, save it for the fall season. So I have 10 decks. I have 6 oracles and 4 tarot. So I've shown you 2 of the oracle. I'm kind of fascinated that I have more oracles and tarot. That isn't usually the case, but I don't know if it's because those two decks I'm really interested in working with. So let's pull up another oracle. This is a deck that I got several months ago, and I have been working with over the summer months, and I'm really, really loving it. It's Old Ways Magic Oracle by Naomi Kornick, and this deck is gorgeous. I feel like the artwork is got some, it's really, it has artwork that represents year round, but I feel like there's something autumnal about this deck. And like I said, I really am wanting to get to know this deck, and I've been working with it, just kind of pulling a card, not even a day, but maybe a card every other day or every few days. Look at this artwork. It is stunning, gorgeous. Now this is my art style. This is art I just really enjoy. And you know, it's a personal taste. It's not, when I say I'm not attracted to a particular type of artwork, it's not, I don't mean to criticize it. It just doesn't appeal to me. But this does. This artwork does appeal to me. Look at this. It is so gorgeous. So Naomi is from Britain, I believe England, and I live in New England, and the countryside and the animals that I'm seeing in this deck are reflective of where I live and the animals that I see around me. However, not this one. So I'm really enjoying this deck. I'm finding it to be really, really powerful. And as I said, I'm quite attracted to the artwork. All right, next up is a tarot. And this is a tarot that I've had for a number of years. And I really like it a lot. And I haven't used it for a while. And I think that one of the reasons is because for me, this artwork is on the darker side, and so it's a deck that I feel more called to use during the darker time of the year. So this is World Spirit Tarot by Lauren O'Leary, and then the art is by Jessica Godino. I wanted to just show you a sample of court cards. So in this deck, we have the Seer, the Seeker, the Sibyl, and the Sage. So those are the court cards. They're not our standard page, knight, queen, king. So here are just a sampling of the cards. The color is so outstanding in this deck. You know, we have the dark borders and the dark background in a lot of cards, but then within the card itself, we have these colors that just pop. I'm trying to move my fingers off the titles so you can see the titles. Am I being successful? I hope so. I love this deck. This is a deck that has a lot of diversity and inclusivity, and I quite appreciate that, as you well know if you watch any of my other videos. So this is a deck that, as I said, I've had for years, and I find it to be quite a powerful deck, and I'm looking forward to using it over the next over the upcoming season. All right, back to Oracle. This next one is, the artwork is somewhat maybe early autumnal coloring, but I feel like it's more the topic of this deck. And again, it can be used year round, but I'm just attracted to it this time of year. This was a gift given to me last year at Yule by a dear friend of mine, Between the Worlds. I did a whole video on it back then. It's by Monica Bodursky, and she has several decks. And I've never been really called or attracted to her decks. And when my friend gave me this deck, at first I was like, oh boy. Well, I'll give it a go. You gave it to me, I'll give it a go. I didn't think I was going to get on with this deck. I love this deck. I love, love, love. It's just great. It's great. So the premise behind this deck is that it's shadow casting with bone and curios. So Monica collected over years' time curios, like key and a little amber necklace, different bones, what's this, a bell, and all kinds of little trinkets, little compass. And she got herself, she gathered for herself over the course of time these curios and bones that she uses for casting, for divination. And what she did was, then she made a deck out of them. Thank you for sharing, Monica, because I don't know if that I have the patience to do all that collecting, and I don't know where I'm going to find some of this stuff. So now we have the cards, and instead of doing the actual casting with the items themselves, we can pull the cards. And this is a chunky guidebook, because what Monica has done is I just flipped open to this one, number 24, heart. So heart is, the key word is love / infatuation. And for each one of the curios or bones, Monica has a story that she tells. And I think in just about every case, it's a personal story. And then after she tells the story, she talks about the item itself, the message from the item, and then she gives advice from the item. And then she has questions for reflection. That is a deck that when I was using it last year around in the darker months, I was enjoying quite a bit. And I pull it out from time to time year round, but I'm looking forward to, I don't know, it just has this kind of, this October, November time of year feeling from it. So anyway, that is Between the Worlds by Monica Bodersky. So next up, I want to pull up a tarot. This is Witch Sister by Julia Jeffries, who also did Hidden Realms. And I'm really excited about this. I got this deck when it first came out a few months ago, and I have to say I haven't used it a real lot. I might as well be showing you the cards while I'm chit-chatting here. I was really drawn to this deck. I love Julia's art, but also I am of Scottish descent or ancestry. And this is a deck, Julia is Scottish herself, and she's calling on Scottish myths and stories that she's based this deck on. And some of them I was familiar with, but many of them I was not. So, it's kind of exploring my roots and my heritage, and with this beautiful, beautiful artwork that Julia has created. And if you have the Hidden Realm, you can see that it's by the same artist. And again, I think this artwork is stunning and gorgeous. So I'm attracted to it. And I feel like there's a little bit of a darkness to this deck. And so I'm attracted to using it here now that we're coming into the darker days of the year. So that is Julia Jeffries, Witch Sister. So next up, I backed this deck on a Kickstarter, I think. I have the tarot. It's the Star Seeker by Nikki Ferrata. This is the Oracle. And I love the tarot, which is, of course, why I backed the Oracle. And I have to say, I think I've only done a deck interview and maybe a couple other pulls with this deck. And so I thought, you know, the color palette, it's dark. It's for this darker time of year, and I thought maybe that's why I hadn't been using it. I had to get in. This is the kind of a rose petally, so it's a little bit soft to pull apart. But look at this artwork. The colors are gorgeous. And I am really looking forward to diving into this deck. Like I said, I've had it a while. The quality, the box is gorgeous. The card, the edging on the cards is gorgeous. The cardstock itself is gorgeous. It's a pleasure and a joy and a beautiful tactile experience to use this deck, which is always quite pleasant. So this is a deck I am really, look at that portal. Oh my goodness. I'm really looking forward to diving into this deck over the next several months. And again, I feel like it is a deck that has a sense of the darker time of the year. So that is Starseeker Oracle by Nikki Ferrata. And then next up is Greenwood. Many of you know this was my unicorn deck. I never ever thought I would get this deck because not only can I not afford to, but I just won't spend that much money on a deck. Last summer, so about beginning of July of last year, I discovered that you could get this, the reprint of this deck on Make Playing Cards. It has since been taken down and put back up and taken down and put back up. Whether it's there now or not, I do not know. This is by Cheska Potter, the artist. And I also have the PDF guidebook, which I just got printed out this past week because I knew I'm going to, so I think it's like 153 pages, written by Cheska. And I knew I was going to be working with this deck coming up this fall, so I thought, you know, I'm going to get it printed out. Look at this deck. It's just magical. There's just something about this. I just am so thrilled to have this deck. And like I said, I never, ever, ever thought that I would have it. I do have a complaint. The cardstock is so slippery. So I have actually put it on my reading table. Like I've, you know, shuffled it. It shuffles beautifully, I must say. And I will, you know, lay out my spread and then I'll put the other cards just in a pile and they just start slipping off each other. It's like, whoa, that's how slippery this deck is. But I feel like it does have kind of, I mean, it's multi-seasonal, but a lot of it gives me sort of a sense of autumn. So that I am really looking forward to playing with over the next several months. Again, it is by Cheska Potter, Greenwood Tarot. And I think if you go to Make Playing Cards and you search for Greenwood, I think they made the person take it down. But what I believe happened was she put it back up under Cheska's name. Because Cheska, when she walked away from tarot, she put the PDF files out into the public realm and said, anyone can print these out who wants to. She said, I no longer feel connected to this deck because she had a change in her worldview, shall I say. So anyway, I think it's now, if you search on Make Playing Cards for Cheska's Magical Tarot or something like that, you might find it. All right. Next up is the last of the oracles. This is Earth, Moon, and Shadow. This was another deck I didn't think I was going to get. I knew they were going to reprint it, but I kind of didn't want to wait. And then I had posted something about it, and someone reached out to me and said, I'm really done with mine. I'll sell you my copy. And they sold it to me for, you know, the going rate. They didn't price gouge. And I thought that was very nice of them. So this is I love the artwork in this. It is stunning, and I feel like it really is Underworld. I feel like it really is a beautiful deck, and very much appropriate for this darker time of the year and the autumn and winter seasons. I have used this deck quite a bit, and then I put it aside for a while, and now I am ready to dive back into it. It's powerful, and you know, I think it's one of its purposes is for shadow work, or, you know, exploring the darker parts of ourselves. Absolutely stunningly beautiful artwork. Oh, and this is by Serafina Mesa, is the creator of the guidebook, and the artwork is Kat Amsel. And Serafina also did the Wisdom of Pooh. So, and I think now they're putting out the Wisdom of Pooh and Tigger 2 or something. So there's another Pooh deck that's coming out. So look at this artwork. It is just stunning and gorgeous. And I just get all kinds of autumn feels when I look at this deck. In fact, yes, this is the one, Autumn Winds. So it's beautiful, and like I said, I have used it a bit in the past, and I'm looking forward to working with it again as we come into the darker time of the year. So finally, last but not least, is the fourth tarot I'll be pulling out for autumn, and that is The Raven's Dream by MJ Cullinane. And, you know, I think MJ's color palette in this deck is very much into the darker time of the year, autumnal, especially. Of course, you know, crows and ravens are around all year round, but, you know, there's something about this time of year, Samhain and so forth, that I feel is very much connected to crows. This artwork is stunning and beautiful. And I love this deck. I love it. I've gotten some amazing, oh, look at that. Oh, geez. So beautiful. So these are my decks for autumn. Like I said, they aren't the only decks I'm going to be using, but they are kind of the more seasonal offerings that I have, and I'm really excited about using them. As sad as I am to say goodbye to summer, I'm really excited about, you know, moving into the time of year where I can use these beautiful decks that have so much to share with us and help us get in touch with deeper parts of ourselves. So tell me, what decks are you attracted to using this time of year? Are any of these on your list of autumn decks? Please let me know. So as always, peace and love, my friends.